Welcome back to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. We are now just
Philadelphia. This Oklahoma defense scored just 19 points all season. Ronnie McCoy in at quarterback.
and it's our turn right now. So once again, after this game goes off, and we will tune in for Georgia versus Tennessee. And once again, tomorrow, it'll be time for the 2025 WNBA playoffs.
Several occasions. Montana State meeting at the quarterback deep in the backfield. Tyler Hine and Taylor Wine able to bring him down.
Yeah, when you go side to side, the best way to attack that is defense is going downhill. There's all this motion and all this window dressing, and neither Heim nor Wine care about the window dressing. They're going to try to get as much penetration as possible to make you second guess if you should run plays like that again.
It's a mouthful there. Taylor Heim and Taylor Wine. At the end of the day, it's the 11th tackle for loss. This Sooners defense showing pressure again. Brent Venables has not taken his foot off the gas. McCoy, a dangerous toss. Travel a long ways to get it to Irvin. Approaching 7 minutes to play in our fourth quarter.
I got just one more back to the game, Texas OU game. Why do people call it OU Texas?
It's just the way that it flows. It's easier for the mouth to form those words. Like from the outside looking in.
Number 13 is checking in as number 91.
I've got no dog in the game, right, between those
4th and 8.
programs.
Going for punt.
I mean, it starts, I guess, in alphabetical order. It flows a little easier. For you went to Texas. You tell me, why is it so?
And
Texas OU.
out.
From Dallas, I always called it Texas OU. But now we're hearing all this OU Texas stuff.
6:40 remains in the fourth quarter.
People say OU Texas. I'm like, I get an OU person, but
Well, we don't want to look too far ahead because it's Auburn next week, and Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold are going to have a lot to say about what happens before that matchup in the Metroplex. And of course, Jackson Arnold started his OU career 2 years ago. Last season, all the injuries, change in offensive play callers mid-season. Seth Luttrell was essentially let go by Coach Venables. What was a dismal offensive campaign, and Brent even said this week, you know, the additions of Mateer and Arbuckle have helped heal the wounds from last year. OU fans happy to see Jaden Ott on the field for the first time, the Cal transfer. He'll get a touch. He hasn't received many this year. And Sam, I wanted to ask you about that. Why haven't we seen more of Jaden Ott? He was preseason second team All SEC.
he was. Well, part of it was he had some injuries in the offseason, and so he wasn't practicing.
Yeah, I really missed doing all that when I was in the band like I used to a couple years ago.
That DeMarco Murray wants to instill and put on tape. He's not necessarily that style. Jaden Ott is great in space. He's got great explosive power, but when you look on tape, he's not as physical as some of the other backs so far. Maybe some of that's because of injury, but I think that's what's got to change in the run block, in the pass blocking game as well, if Ott wants to be on the field.
Elijah Thomas picks up a couple. Jaden Ott at Cal, awfully impressive.
It is 3:20 p.m.
And a team that won at Auburn. You'll see the Tigers next week. But you go back 2 seasons ago, 14 total touchdowns, more than 1,300 rush yards at Berkeley.
He's explosive. He's extremely explosive, but maybe it's the injury, also the style, maybe it's some of the pass blocking as well. All those things matter to not only play in this offense, to play for DeMarco Murray, but to be a complete running back.
Shoulder injury in preseason camp, that really limited his development this season. Mentioned the ankle last year, playing for the Bears in the ACC. He entered the transfer portal, and it came down to OU and Georgia. And at that point in time, he leaned in the direction of Brent Venables' club, obviously. But it's been for Torrey Blaylock, Javante Barnes, and Knott is the 4th running back into this game today.
But to your point, it's still early in the season. We're just in game 3, and this is the long season. If you want to have success, number one, you're going to need multiple running backs, but also you never know. It might take one big run, and all of a sudden that confidence comes back for Jay Knott. And the Jay Knott of old, the one from 2 years ago at Cal when healthy, starts to reemerge. So he could still be a weapon for this offense, even though he's not getting the reps early.
A crowded running back room, to say the least. And a luxury if you're Ben Arbuckle. His numbers so far this season, including what we've seen, he entered this game 5 carries for 6 yards. Now at 8 rushing attempts for 14. Picked up a yard there. 3rd down and 7. Sooners just trying to get back to Norman. Up on the jet, get back home, get ready for SEC play next weekend. Hawkins will shoot one deep, man-to-man coverage. Will hand
And flag flown everywhere.
Colt against Elijah Thomas.
Pass interference, defense, number 11. That's a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
What?
What do you do when you get beat? You don't want to give up a touchdown.
Uh-oh.
Hold to keep the offense from getting into the end zone. That was just bad technique by Earl Colt, but a great throw by Michael Hawkins.
Iowa State on the road, top 15 Cyclones at Arkansas State when we are done here in Philadelphia. Rocco Beck, that show rolls on. Starting with that season opening win in Dublin against Kansas State. Wildcats have hit tough times. Lost last night to Arizona. After losing a week ago at home against Army. The one thing we've learned about that game in Ireland, for the winner, you feel great. You're able to capitalize. The loser for Florida State last year, disaster. And for K-State so far this season, kind of a similar path.
Well, it's not even just about that Dublin game. It's also about the Big 12. It's almost like you never know who's going to be successful in that conference. Last year, no one knew Arizona State was going to be as good as they were. This year, people were talking about Kansas State as being the favorite. Now it hasn't gone that way so far.
Robinson steamrolls his way down to the 36.
Another great block by Logan Howland. But man, one thing about Xavier Robinson that's different than the other backs is his size. This dude is 239 pounds. Most of these other backs are the 210 range, and he's different, built different. That might be a sign of things to come when you have short yardage in Oklahoma.
And the balance today for the Sooners, over 200 yards rushing, nearly 300 yards passing. Approaching 500 total yards for this 2-minute timeout. Robinson again. Bulldoze his way for a few. That should get us down to the 2-minute timeout.
So Auburn,
I heard my band is playing in the background.
Jackson Arnold.
Could be some drama
There's
this
going to
week.
be some feelings this
And
week.
look, Brent Venables.
And we're near the 2-minute mark.
It just didn't work out last season. Not the way that anybody had hoped for. The injuries, the changes. He still has a ton of respect for the Arnold family and for Jackson himself. We do have breaking news to tell you about. The studio is going to tell you how it ended in Atlanta. After this.
We'll be right back on the other side. It's 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back on the other side.